Welcome back to 12 Acres. Well, we purchased 150 Freedom Ranger straight run chicks back in April, and we raised them in our shop building initially under heat lamps while they were still little. Now, we had figured 150 to feed our family of 6 for a full year. That was going to average out to be about 3 chickens a week. We do eat a lot of chicken, but in the goal of raising all of our own meat, we figured chicken would be a pretty staple part of our diet, and then we would also have our homegrown pork as well as rabbit to mix in there. Eventually we'll get a cow and have some beef, but for now we'll do chicken, rabbit, and pork. So while the babies were in the shop under heat lamps, getting about half feathered, my husband and boys worked on building some chicken tractors out on our front pasture. So the goal being that we would, eventually move all of these little chicks out onto pasture as soon as they were old enough to not need a heat lamp any longer. The initial inspiration for these PVC chicken tractors came from a young lady here on YouTube, and I will link to her video in the description box.
Till Armageddon, no shalom, no shalom. Then the Father him will call his chickens home. The devil's right hand, the devil's right hand, the devil's right hand. Mama said the pistol is the devil's right hand. The bed asked me how I made it. I'm guilty, I said. I'm guilty, I said. You've got the wrong man.
Once the chicks were just about fully feathered, we went ahead and moved them out onto pasture. Of course, we made sure that the weather was going to be warm enough, especially at night, that they would be able to handle the outside temperatures.
See right here, this is where they were the first day, and then the second day, and then here they are. Hi guys! So these are our Freedom Rangers. They are just a couple days over 12 weeks, so they're quite mature. You can butcher these really anywhere after, I believe, 9 weeks. They don't grow quite as fast as the Cornish cross, but we figured we would wait around somewhere between 10 and 12 weeks to do them. And, we got kind of busy painting the house and lots of projects going on around here, so they are now 12 weeks old, and we are spending this entire week butchering them. We have about 130 more to go, so we have a lot of work ahead of us. This is where the Freedom Rangers have been living. We move them every day to a fresh spot of grass, and they absolutely love it. They're doing very well, and we're really pleased with them. Also today, one of the first things we will be doing is taking care of this jerk over here. The Narragansett Turkey Tom. He has bitten me on the back of my legs a few too many times, and today will be his day to go to freezer camp. So our butchering area is set up here in the driveway. We've got 2 killing cones here. These are actually large, but they are still a little too small for these Freedom Rangers. I'm very surprised at how large these chickens ended up getting, and they're kind of tight getting them down in here, and you have to kind of reach up in there and pull their heads down. But we've got a couple tables here, of course our plucker, the scalder and propane tank, and I've got a tub here that we'll put icy water in after we get them cleaned and put them in some cold water. Now as far as actual butchering equipment goes, we actually have a few different knives even beyond what's here that have proved to be pretty much useless when it comes to butchering poultry. We initially, when we first started processing our own animals, this is the knife that we used, and we've since moved on to this one, and then we purchased some of these. This was like a whole set of various different knives. But generally, the knives that are in this design here, and I don't know what you call these type of knives, we have found these to be the most useful in butchering these chickens. The poultry shears are used for like clipping the tips of the wings. You might use them for anything else that might be harder to cut that you don't want to dull your knives on. And then of course our lighter is for lighting the this thing. So right now we've got this up to almost, it's getting there. The water was pretty cold in the hose this morning, so it's taken a little while to warm up to 150, but generally we like to have it between 140 and 150 for scalding. You got to separate that crop. This is the crop right here. So very carefully work your knife and kind of try to pull it away, all that, the membrane that's kind of holding it in. You want to very gently cut around that and loosen the crop away so that we can get it out of there completely without,
I'm gonna ruin this.
Without damaging it, because you don't want to empty out all the food and stuff that's in it.
Luckily it's mainly just grass.
How's yours coming?
Fine.
Good.
I cut the crop a little high, but...
Okay. Doing good. Working on the guts now.
So how do I do this exactly? Like, what do I hold and stuff?
Hold on.
Already done.
John, you about done?
Yep.
We got left.
Just the guts.
Let me know when.
this way right here. If this is gun right there, look like hole here and hole here, looks like that thing Yoda jumps out on Star Wars. I think he designed it after a chicken, a butchered chicken.
All right.
It's the sucky rim.
So we got all of the chickens done. We are 100% done with that meat project that we did this year. Initially we had bought 150 chicks. I believe we had approximately 10 die over the course of the first month or 6 weeks or so. So we ended up with right around 140, and the average weight on them was 5 pounds. Some are right at 4 pounds, some were all the way up to 6.5 pounds. So, you know, because it was a straight run, so there were males and females in there, and the roosters were just massive. Some of them would hardly fit in our killing cones, and some of them would hardly fit in our bags. So, definitely going to plan for larger things next year.